Oh, hey, my favorite perk is next.
Did you seriously just say Quick Revive is your favorite perk? Of course, the Democrat likes the blue perk, probably because it saves your ass when you fall asleep during a solo game.
Fuck you, Donald. You know I like being a team player in our co-op games.
Joe, I don't think I've ever seen you revive anyone ever.
What do you mean? I do it all the time. Like wait, did I? Oh, fuck.
My God, the dementia's getting to him already. Team player, my perfectly sculpted ass. Quick Revive is situational at best in co-op and a noob clutch in solo. C tier is the highest it should be.
Have to agree with you. As much as it pains me to... Sorry, Joe.
Screw you guys. Quick Revive supremacy.
Okay, Flopper's up next.
Overrated.
What?
Overrated.
First up is the OG Quick Revive.
I mean, it's a pretty useful utility in co-op and a necessity in solo games. It's got to be S tier.
I mean, I agree, but we do got to mention that you only get 3 uses of it on solo, then it's gone for good. I think that bumps it down to A tier.
Well, I hate fish, and according to every character, it tastes fishy, so F tier.
Joe, you bumbling buffoon. We're not judging them based on taste, otherwise they'd almost all go in F. Hell, according to the ingredients visible on the cans in Cold War, a lot of these would actually kill you if you drank them. That said, I have to agree with Donald, this is an A-tier perk.
Well, another reason Joe might not like it is because he never uses it in co-op. He's the noob who's always getting revived. I can settle on A tier, though.
Speed Cola is up next.
Speed Cola speeds up your life.
That it does, Joe. Unfortunately, it doesn't exist in real life. Your slow ass would really benefit from a swig of it.
Oh, come on, man.
Speed Cola also makes you use equipment and repair barriers faster as well. I'd say it's an S tier as well.
Fine by me.
Yeah, it's just simply one of the best.
Next we have Speed Cola. Again, no need to debate.
Yeah, C tier at best.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell, Sleepy? You seriously think the GOAT of perks is just C tier? It speeds up your life, but apparently not your brain functionality.
I mean, it's a fine perk. But after Black Ops 3 introduced the AAT effects, any weapon became an instant killer. So you didn't need to reload as often. Plus, I'd rather get Stamen up.
Fair point, but on the earlier games, it was still clutch as heck.
Speed Cola gets A tier and no lower. You will rue the day you made this decision, Sleepy.
All right, let's get going. First should be pretty simple. Juggernog.
S tier.
Yep, no debate there. Instant classic.
Okay, do we even need to discuss this next one? Jug is an easy S tier.
For sure.
Yeah, this shit is a lifesaver. I'd never make it past round 10 without my jug.
Okay, S tier it is. On to double tap.
This perk sucks. It just makes you waste ammo.
Wow, Obama, so wrong. Maybe just let go of your trigger when you're done shooting, and you won't use any more ammo than you need to.
I like the jingle. It makes me feel like a rootin', tootin', six-shootin' cowpoke.
Joe, are you ever going to add anything of substance to this discussion? Anyways, I got to agree with Barry. Double tap sucks, especially when compared to its far superior 2.0 version. I mean, hell, it was so unnecessary, they removed it from Ascension on BO1.
Fair points, George, but I still think it's at least a B tier. I mean, cowboys can't shoot slow after all, or they'll end up below. And what do they do when they need some help? Why, they reach for the root beer shelf.
Donald, I'll compromise at C tier if you promise to never give us your shitty rendition of a perk jingle ever again.
I actually liked it, Don. You sounded good. C tier is fine with me. Next up is double tap 1 and 2.
1.0 is absolute trash. Instant F tier.
Come on, Donald. 1.0 isn't that bad?
Canada Bunga! Everyone knows double tap 1 wastes your ammo faster than Biden wasted the 2020 presidential campaign.
It didn't waste ammo, you orange idiot. It just made you shoot faster. Only dummies who held down the trigger wasted their ammo.
Shut it, Sleepy. Put that shit in the F tier and put 2.0 in S tier.
I'll agree with you on 2.0. But since the OG double tap is a classic, I'll give it D tier.
Motherfucker, you would.
Well, now that we're at this perk, I have something to get off my chest. I did not care for PhD Flopper.
What?
Did not care for PhD Flopper.
How can you even say that, Don?
Didn't like it.
Donald, it's so good. It's like the perfect perk.
You see, this is what everyone says.
No explosive damage or fall damage. You explode when you dolphin dive.
I know Fine Features did not like the perk.
Explain yourself, Donald. What don't you like about it?
It insists upon itself, Obama.
What?
It insists upon itself.
Well, what does that even mean?
It's a god tier perk, Donald. It's meant to be insistent.
You rarely actually use explosive weapons, never ever die from fall damage. And the explosive dolphin diving isn't that practical in most situations. I mean, I've never even bought it.
You've never bought it?
How can you say you don't like it? You've never even given it a chance.
I agree with George. It's not really fair.
I mean, I've tried on 3 different occasions to get it out of the Wonder Fizz on Origins. Could never get it.
Donald, it's a rare perk. You have to keep trying.
And the jingle. I can't understand a word it's singing. It's like it's in a different language.
It's singing in a language of subtlety, Donald, something you clearly don't understand.
I love PhD Slider. That is my answer to that statement.
Whatever.
I like that perk too.
Let's just throw PhD in A tier. This reference has gone on long enough.
Okay, Flopper's up next.
Overrated.
What?
Overrated.
The fuck does that mean?
Overrated.
Can you say anything other than overrated?
This perk is the definition of situational. Does anyone use explosive weapons in a serious fashion? I don't think so. They only do when they want to mess around. No self-respecting high rounder uses explosive weapons. This perk goes straight into the D tier.
What about the Mustang and Sally? The Scavenger? The Crossbow and Law? Hell, the ray gun got its chance to shine because of PhD.
Yeah, Donald, that's an L take. We're putting it in A tier.
I don't know why everyone loses their shit over this trash perk.
It's not trash, Trump. You just have a skill issue.
I'll show you skill issue when I'm back in office.
I'd like to see you try.
Guys, can you calm your shit? We're moving on. Okay, what do we think about Stamin' Up?
Honestly, it's a fine perk. It was really useful from Black Ops 2 onward because of how big some of the maps got.
Holy shit, I actually agree. Stamin' Up feels like a no-brainer kind of perk. Always grab that shit when I'm playing Transit. So good.
Oh, God, please shut up about your transit boner, Donald. No one cares. So anyway, do we want to put this in B tier?
Yeah, that seems fair.
B tier is fine. God, I love Transit.
Next up is Stamina Up. I wish this drink was real. Lord knows these old slow bones could use it.
You said it, not me.
I can't even tell you how useful this perk is, especially on maps like Transit and Origins.
I used to never buy this perk, actually, but Origins, with all of its mud and huge layout, made me a certified Stamin' Up enjoyer.
Sounds like most of us are in agreement. Can we put this one in S tier?
Fine with me, Sleepy. Drop that shit faster than the Dow Jones dropped during your presidency.
Well, next up is Deadshot Daiquiri. Not gonna lie, this perk is ass.
Yeah, seriously, if you need to waste a perk slot to hit your headshots, then you're either a complete and total noob or Joe.
Damn it, oh bummer, why are you being mean to me too? I'm supposed to be your best friend.
You are, but you're also a noob. I will admit, though, you have definitely improved since we first started playing together.
Really, I disagree. He still sucks. Just like this perk. No wonder it's so cheap. Hell, I wouldn't take this shit for free.
Yeah, especially when you play on PC, because you don't even get the auto-aim to the head effect. F tier.
Agreed. OG Deadshot is lame as fuck. The jingle is pretty fire, though.
Oh, fuck. Here comes Deadshot. Jesus Christ. Put it in F tier and let's move on.
Hang on, I know you didn't just talk shit about Deadshot. Deadshot is one of the best perks ever created, and that is a fact.
Joe, did you smoke something before starting this list? What in the hell are you talking about? Deadshot's the most worthless perk next to Tombstone.
You're just mad that you keyboard players can't utilize its auto-aim functionality to its fullest.
Did this controller, Reliant Noob, just say that Deadshot is functional? My God, how the hell did you win the election with arguments that sloppy? Everyone knows Deadshot is a waste of 1,500 points, a waste of a perk slot, and especially a waste of time. To think that someone could even like this perk is insane, and they should be committed.
Fuck you, Donald Duck. Deadshot is supreme, and you know it.
For shit's sake, I'm putting it in D tier, so shut up already, Joe.
You guys have no taste. At least it's better in Cold War.
Yeah, the Cold War version slaps.
Agreed.
Speaking of a waste of points, this overpriced piece of shit.
Yeah, I always go down when I buy Mule Kick. Keep losing my packed SMR.
First off, trash weapon Sleepy. Second, you guys simply don't understand the economic value of a mule kick purchase.
Economic value? More like economic dive bomb. You don't even get to keep your weapon when you buy it back. It works if you're a god at the game, but I know your racist ass ain't good.
Obama, you know I'm the greatest player in the Zombies community. Also, it's not racist if it's true.
Cap, on God, putting it in D tier.
Next up is Donkey Punch, Mule Kick.
Another mid perk. Mule Kick has way more drawbacks than benefits. Having 3 guns isn't really that important on most maps.
Now hold on, Carrot Top. This perk isn't all that bad. I mean, yeah, it is annoying trying to figure out what your Mule Kick gun is sometimes. And the 4,000 point price tag is hefty. But during Easter eggs and high rounds on some maps, that extra gun's ammo will be the difference between life or death.
Well, personally, I hate this perk because it reminds me of Mexico, F tier. They never paid for my big, beautiful wall.
Well, your racist remark aside, Don, this perk is a mixed bag for sure. Can we settle on C?
I don't give a flying fuck. Just put it there so I don't have to think about it anymore.
Oh no, boys, look what's up next.
Joe, what do you have to say about this perk?
He really fell asleep? I mean, I get that. Tombstone is a boring perk.
Let me give him a call. I know he wants to talk about Tombstone.
Huh? Hello, do you know what time it is? Who is this, and why are you calling in the middle of the night?
Yo, dumbass, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you fell asleep when we were talking about Tombstone on this Perca-Cola tier list. Get your ass back here.
Sorry, guys, I'm back. But yes, Tombstone is an awesome perk. I bleed out a lot, so I'm happy to know my stuff will still be there.
That's if you can get to it in time. Do you forget what map this shit perk is on, Joe? Transit. I love the map, but it's too big to make use of this perk. On town, it's all right. It can be used to get more than 4 perks. That's about all it's good for. F tier.
Yeah, nobody's really disagreeing it's bad, but I'd put it in D tier. It does have some utility.
Agreed, D tier is best for it.
Okay, but let's all agree the Jingle is an S tier.
It is pretty fire.
Next up is Tombstone.
S tier, best perk on transit.
Obama, do we really need to put up with this shit?
Just ignore him, Joe. I'm putting it in F tier.
Don't you fucking ignore my superior opinions, you shit for brain Democrats. Put that shit in the F tier and put 2.0 in S tier.
I'll agree with you on 2.0.
Now here's an actual double tap worth talking about. 2.0 is a crutch perk in every sense of the word. Bullet weapons require this for the high rounds.
100% agree. They turned a shit perk to a god tier one.
Kind of like how in 2021, America switched out a shitty president for a god tier one.
Fake news.
Yeah, I love you, Joe, but your presidency has not been god tier by any means.
You're just wrong, Barry. We built this country back better. Kind of like how Double Tap 2.0 built the perk back better.
Joe, no way you actually think of yourself as that good of a POTUS. You're starting to sound like Donald. Regardless, Double Tap 2 is for sure an S tier. Any objections?
No problems with that. I've noticed a lot of these early perks were just godly.
Yeah, seriously, this perk has to go in S.
Joe, you about to tell us how much you love Who's Who?
Nah, it makes me confused. A lot of the time, I don't know who's who in real life. Like, I don't even know who the president is sometimes. I don't want a perk reminding me of my mental decline.
Wow, that's actually kind of sad. Mostly for the country, since your old ass is running the show, but sad nonetheless.
Damn, Donald, chill.
Back to talking about Who's Who. Aside from the base jingle, the perk is far more of a detriment than an actual help, especially on a shit map like Die Rise.
I love Die Rise, but I gotta agree. I mean, when you go down, sometimes you spawn nowhere near your body. And even then, you only have the M1911. You have 0 shot of reviving yourself if you don't have quick revive.
We can all agree this shit is F tier, right?
Yeah, say, did you guys know this perk was called Chug a Butt in the game files?
Shut the hell up, Joe. Nobody cares.
I'll have
What
you
about
know
Who's
that
Who?
Tombstone is a unique
I mean, it
perk
was a
idea,
good
and
idea,
the way
but if it
is
was on a different
implemented into
map,
the was
then
fantastic.
maybe it would be
Plus,
good.
even
What do you
Sleepy Joe
think,
over
D
here
tier?
could use it
Yeah,
and
D tier is
actually be
fine.
good at the game.
Electric
Don't hate
Cherry
on
is
something
okay.
just because you have skill
B tier
issues,
maybe?
you cretins.
Yeah, B
A
tier is
God-tier
cool.
perk for a
Great
God-tier
introduction
map,
for a
is what I
perk,
say.
being on one of the best maps ever made.
Agreed, Cherry is definitely high mid. Glad it became a mainstay in BO3.
Now here's a great perk. Electric Cherry. It fit Mob of the Dead perfectly and really can save your ass.
Yeah, but what's the perk jingle?
We'll never know what the perk jingle sounded like. Just like how we'll never know what happened to Saddam's WMDs.
Well, I can clear that one up for you, George. You fucking lied about them.
True, Donald, very true. But yeah, really, it is a solid B tier perk in my opinion.
I think that fits. It's not crazy overpowered, but is helpful.
I can settle on B tier. Vulture 8 Elixir is up next. This perk was fucking awesome. I mean, you get free money and ammo. I love making money after all.
Someone's got to pay those legal bills, right, Donnie?
Nope, I'm innocent.
Also, you could step in that green stink and smell like Joe, which would hide you from the zombies.
First off, screw you, you cabbage head. Secondly, this perk helped me a lot because it'd show you everything on the map, like perks, weapons, the box, etc. My ass would never forget anything again on Buried.
So how about A tier?
For sure, A tier sounds like the best placement.
Up next is Vulture's Aid.
Ah, Vulture Aid, a perk I wish could have been a staple. Alas, it was gone too soon.
Joe, you know you can still play Buried whenever you want, right?
I know, but this perk was just so damn good, you wish it was brought back.
Kind of overrated, in my opinion.
There you go again with that overrated BS. What's your problem with Vulture Aid?
It makes the game too easy, what with the green gas and little ammo drops. Buried is already an easy map, but Vulture Aid makes it even easier.
You know, after round 20, the game gets more difficult. But you wouldn't know that, would you?
Screw you, Sleepy. I've made it to round 100 many times because, like I have said, I'm the greatest Zombies player ever in the history of COD Zombies.
All right, shut up, you two. I'm going to slap this shit in the A tier and move on.
I'd rather it be S tier, but A tier is fine.
Next is Widow's Wine, the only perk introduced in Black Ops 3. It was just as much of a crutch perk as Jug or Double Tap 2. Easy S tier.
I have to agree, Obunga. Widow's Wine is a perfect example of what a perk should be.
Oh, really? It's an amazing perk. How about all the shit you guys give me when I buy it? And my grenades kill the zombies.
That's just because you're shit at the game, Joe. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, Joe, you're not that good with Widows. You always kill the zombie when we try to do the Easter eggs.
It's not my fault the zombies can't handle my swag.
Did you just fucking say swag unironically? My God, you're hopeless.
Next is Widow's Wine. This is my favorite perk of all time. S tier.
Why? Does it remind you of all the widows you made after doing 9/11?
Holy shit, Obunga. You're going nuclear on everyone tonight.
Keep calling me Obunga, and you'll be next Trump. I'll leak that P-tape with you faster than you can say fake news.
Get 'em, Barry. But yeah, Widows is pretty good. The only issue is those damn annoying Widows wine grenades can sometimes end the round when you're trying to save a zombie.
How many times do we need to tell you to just throw them away, Joe?
He'll never change. He'll never change. Ever since he was VP, always the same. Couldn't keep his Widow's grenades from killing the last zombie.
Why do I feel like you're always referencing something, Obama?
Just calling out Joe's chicanery.
Anyway, I think this perk belongs in S tier as well.
I can agree with that. Look at you being rational, Joe.
Next up is the start of the BO4 perks, starting with Quick Revive.
Well, it functions exactly as it always has, only this time the solo revive feature is gone and just part of your base kit, so that definitely brings it down a bit.
We do got to talk about the modifier, though. It makes you get a speed boost after your health regen starts, and reviving a teammate gives you both a speed boost.
That's true, Donald, but as a BO4 expert, I can tell you nobody's ever going to put Quick Revive in their modifier slot.
I mean, Joe, your dumbass puts Blaze Phase in their modifier slot. Not really that much of an expert, are you?
He does have a point, though. To me, BO4 Quick Revive is a B tier.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Let's drop it there. We have lots more to talk about.
You can shit on Winter's Wail all you want, but there is no way you can talk shit about Bandolier Bandit. More ammo is always a win. Exactly. Solid A tier. It goes.
Next up is Bandolier Bandit. I'm thinking A tier. I mean, it's literally more ammo.
It is pretty solid. I mean, it has no drawbacks like some other perks. and has a really simple yet useful ability. The ammo increase isn't massive or anything, but on certain guns is pretty helpful. I think it is more of a B tier, though.
Yeah, and the modifier is nothing crazy. Just reload your weapon when stowed. It's good with very specific guns, but otherwise not very noticeable. I was leaning C tier because it feels kind of useless, but Donald's right, it can be helpful.
I knew you'd see things my way, Joe. I mean, I did write the art of the deal after all.
You didn't write shit, Donald. You paid someone to do it for you. Just like how you paid Stormy Daniels to watch Shark Week and chill with you. By the way, how was being arrested the other day?
I was innocent, so I never saw the inside of a jail cell. The political witch hunt will never end.
Cry about it, Donald. Your ass is a criminal now. Maybe you're the bandolier bandit.
Shut up, Barry. I'm putting this perk in B tier so we can move on.
Next up is our beloved Stamina Up. I mean, it's objectively better than the original, especially with the modifier slot, giving you unlimited sprint.
Yeah, not much to discuss, really. It's the same old Stamina Up with a great modifier. Got to go up in S tier, too.
Next is Deadshot Dealer. It's a dumb name for a dumb perk.
Dumb? The modifier makes you do more damage as a reward for consecutive headshots. That's pretty nifty. I'd say B tier.
Well, Joe, I'd say you're a complete noob. I mean, who's ever going to run this shit in their modifier slot?
Yeah, not to mention your old ass can't hit headshots anyways. This perk is useless to you. I mean, if you're using wonder weapons, it really doesn't help. I'd put it in D tier just for the modifier, making it slightly different than the OG Deadshot.
Same. Fuck this perk. It's absolutely repugnant.
Oh, screw you guys.
Well, this next one you should appreciate. Victorious Tortoise. I mean, you are slow like a turtle, Joe.
Nah, that'd be your buddy Bitch McConnell, Don.
That old crow is not my friend. He gets along with Sleepy Joe better than me these days.
Can we just talk about the perk, please?
This is a great perk. I mean, it makes your shield block damage from every direction when holding it out. You're pretty much invincible.
And the shield explodes when it breaks, giving you a moment to get away.
The modifier isn't too crazy, but I guess can be helpful. Lets you knock down heavy zombies and mini-bosses with your shield bash.
Sounds like we all agree this is a great perk. I'll drop it in A tier.
Next up is Victorious Tortoise. Not sure what to do about this one. I don't even remember what it does.
Isn't Victorious the one that makes your shield better?
I don't know. Never used it.
So what, D tier then?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Any objections, Donald?
Not really, no.
I do have objections with this next one, though. My God, they ruined PhD so badly.
What are you talking about, Sleepy? This version was so much better than the original. It actually felt useful for once.
Yeah, but there was only one fucking weapon to use it with. Other than that, the slide mechanic was way worse than the classic flop.
Yeah, the slide ability was shit compared to Black Ops 3, so it just made this perk feel like a slap in the face to those who wanted it earlier.
Oh, boo-hoo, you miss your flop so bad. Go back and play the older games then, noob!
Calm down, Trump. Just for that, it's going in C tier.
I think that's too generous, but whatever. Let's keep going.
Now here's a great perk. PhD Slider is goated for one reason, and one reason specifically. The Helion Salvo.
Yep.
Time for a bipartisan resolution. Let's put PhD Slider in A tier.
Fine with me. I mean, the Helion Salvo is pretty much a wonder weapon.
Oh, yeah. Stone Cold Stronghold. Love this perk.
Of course you do, Joe. What a boring perk. It's the very definition of lackluster.
Now slow your roll, Agent Orange. Joe has a point. On Alpha, Omega, and Tag der Toten, this perk is vital to getting an easy round 100 using the ballistic knives and electric burst. For that, it has to be at least a B tier.
There's just one teeny, tiny problem with what you just said, Obama. Nobody has ever wanted to sit down and suffer through 100 rounds on Alpha Omega.
I have.
Well, I agree with Donald about that map. I mean, cleaning slimy air vents every few rounds to open PAP back up is stupid as fuck. But Stone Cold Stronghold is a great camping perk.
Yeah, but camping is futile on most maps. Training the zombies is where it's at.
Donald, stop your bitching. You're just hating because it's a BO4 perk. This shit is going in B tier whether your spray-tanned ass likes it or not.
Whatever, shoulder sniffer.
Next up, Stone Cold Stronghold.
Stone Cold is one of the dumbest perk ideas ever thought up by a game designer. D tier.
Did I just hear Sleepy admit he doesn't like camping even though his ass couldn't get past round 15 without locking himself into a corner?
I like camping, dumbass. But Black Ops 4's gameplay looping is obviously catered more to training, especially on the better maps like Voyage and Alpha Omega.
I'm going to ignore that awful opinion and put it in the C tier.
Yeah, seems about right. C tier it is. Now onto the BO4 perks. First up is Time Slip. I don't really run this perk often, but it is useful when I do. I'd say a solid B tier is fair.
I have no qualms with that.
Agreed, very mid-tier perk.
Okay, cool beans.
Time Slip is up next. This is a pretty solid perk, to be honest. Makes the box spin faster, gives you your gun from Pack-a-Punch quicker, and makes your equipment cooldown shorter.
Reminds me of that time I slipped on a banana peel.
Joe, you fucking cartoon character. But I agree with Obama. Time Slip is a pretty solid perk.
Seems like a waste to me. Are you really that impatient that you can't spend a couple secs getting your guns? C tier for me.
C tier? You're fucking nuts. It's a great perk. A tier. The modifier makes it recharge your elixirs and specialist weapons faster too.
Chill with the vulgarity, Mr. Top Gun Shades. How about we meet in the middle at B?
Whatever. Now this is a god tier perk. Winter's Wail is objectively better than Widow's Wine.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that, Don, but it is very strong.
Well, I don't know if I agree with the way you handled Hurricane Katrina, but that's just me.
Donald is right, though. It is better. You don't usually have to worry about ending the round early like with the Widow's grenades either. This shit is broken as fuck.
And it doesn't remind me of those scary spiders either. S tier.
Okay, Joe, you pussy. Finally using that brain of yours, I see.
I guess I can agree with you guys. S tier is cool with me.
Now Winter's Wail has got to be the most disappointing perk in the game. Not bad, but as a sequel to Widow's Wine, it's a letdown in almost every way imaginable.
I second that. I don't think I've seen anyone run it after it got nerfed in the patches. Heavy C tier for me, dog.
Did you just say dog? Remind me why I had you as my vice president?
Winter's Wail is a great perk. You guys just can't accept a perk that requires skill to use.
Skill, it just activates on its own. What skill is there to it? C tier it goes. And finally, we have Death Perception.
Wasn't this piece of shit in BO4? Why are we ranking it here?
Because Cold War gave this perk a purpose, and a decent one at that.
Only because Cold War relied on scrap to the point of unnecessary levels only Joe would know.
Fuck you, Donald. At least it added something to the game, which is more than I can say about your presidency.
Uncalled for Sleepy, uncalled for. Obama, put this in C tier and let's call it a night.
I think I'm going to be sick. Death Perception.
Yeah, this shit is one of the worst perks of all time. Only noobs get any benefit from it.
Well, I guess we know who loves this perk.
I mean, I can see zombies through the wall with this perk. I never get snuck up on and scared again.
The only positive I can concede about this perk is the modifier lets you deal extra damage to special enemies. But if you run this perk as your modifier, you are fucking slow in the head.
So F tier then?
Yep.
Next is Electric Burst. I mean, it's just Electric Cherry, not much of a difference. I'd say it goes right next to the original.
Yeah, it's exactly the same, pretty much. The modifier pretty much lets you get pop shocks with your melee weapon, but it's not enough of a benefit to bump it up any more than B tier.
I think we're all in agreement on this one. Oh, it's my favorite perk of all time. Right next to Blaze Phase, of course. Dying Wish has saved my runs more times than I can count, which is 4, by the way.
You can't count higher than 4?
Of course he can't. Are you surprised?
He does make a good point, though. Dying Wish is the ultimate crutch perk. This has to go in S tier.
I hate to agree with you two socialists, but it really is broken beyond belief.
I think the guy Dick Cheney shot in the face with his shotgun during that hunting trip must have had Dying Wish. He recovered pretty quickly.
Still can't believe that guy was your Veep, George. What were you thinking? Dude's a real-life supervillain.
I mean, Joe, you picked your VP based on affirmative action, so you have no room to talk. Let's just drop Dying Wish in S tier, like how you dropped the ball on the Afghan withdrawal.
Next up, Dying Wish was the definition of crutch. I don't think a soul on this earth doesn't use Dying Wish.
I bet it saved Sleepy's ass more times over than he can even remember.
Says the guy who always has to pop a Perkaholic every game.
That's one of the benefits of being rich, Joe. You don't have to worry about basic bitch gobble gums.
Actually, I think they were elixirs in BO4.
Doesn't matter. Dying Wish is GOAT.
Agreed, S tier.
All righty, next up is BO4 Mule Kick.
Well, it's definitely better than the previous versions of Mule Kick, because Treyarch actually used their brains for a second and added an icon to let you know what your third gun was.
And the modifier lets you swap weapons faster and get your Mule Kick gun back after rebuying Mule Kick if you go down.
Yeah, but it still reminds me of Mexico. At least that annoying-ass jingle isn't in BO4.
Yeah, but I would have taken the original jingles over the boring Wonder Fizz jingles from BO4. Still, Mule Kick in this game is a solid BE tier. The changes made were actually super good.
Well, I think it's still an F tier, but whatever you corrupt creatures of the swamp want to do is fine.
Fuck you, Donald, but okay, B tier is cool.
Next is Ethereal Razor. Pretty solid perk in my opinion.
Yeah, having a stronger melee that also heals you is nice, and you do a swipe attack instead of lunging towards the zombies, giving you some distance.
And the modifier for the perk makes your melee a one-hit kill forever. Super overpowered.
I'd say it's top of B tier. Not like you'll be meleeing the whole game except for certain high round strats.
Yeah, that's true. B tier works for me if it works for Donnie and Joe.
Yeah, I guess that's cool with me.
I think it should be A tier, but I can compromise.
Okay, next up is Ethereal Razor. Don't really melee much in games, so I never used it.
Yeah, same. I don't think there's anyone who actually likes the melee combat in zombies enough to use this.
Biden?
Oh, God, Sleepy, don't tell me.
I like it.
God damn it, Joe.
I enjoyed using it. What can I say?
What is there to say besides the fact that your opinions have got to be the worst fucking ones I think I've ever heard? My God, your hot takes are worse than Bernie's, and he can spew some shit from his pie hole.
I'm just going to stick it in D tier and move on.
I don't like it. But fine.
Next up is Zomshell. Again, didn't use it much, but from what I've heard, it's a decent perk. Probably C tier for me.
This one was decent only on Blood when you had to do the Follow the Ghost challenge. Other than that, it's pretty useless.
Somehow I agree with that reasoning. I'd probably prefer D tier, though.
All right, I can do that.
Well, this next perk is the very definition of mid-Zomshell.
Mid! This shit is just like Vulture Aid.
Like a watered-down version of Vulture Aid, maybe. Kind of like how your presidency is just a shittier version of Barack's.
I don't know, I kind of like it. That contamination field that slows down the zombies can be helpful. And the modifier letting you stand in it to hide from the zombies can be a saving grace.
Yeah, but again, who's ever going to waste their modifier slot with this shit? I can settle on B tier. There are some benefits, but it's nothing great.
Well, I think it's like a D tier, but whatever, Obama.
Ooh, I love this one. Reminds me of Hunter and his fursuit.
Your son is a freak.
Yeah, gotta agree with Donald. He's clearly smoked too much of that Parmesan cheese.
So what if my son is a furry? He's an imaginative little boy. As long as he's happy, I'm a happy father.
Yeah, that's fine and dandy, Joe. There's just one little problem. Your son is 53 years old.
Okay, roasting Creepy Joe and his creepy son is fun and all, but can we talk about Blood Wolf Bite now?
I mean, it is kind of cool how you summon a wolf to kill zombies. Luna is a good pupper, and we must protect her at all costs.
She's useless. She always manages to get in my way. I'd hunt her down and wear her as a coat if I could.
Jesus Christ, Donald, you're cruel.
It can be useful. With the modifier, she drops ammo. And on Ancient Evil specifically, you can get infinite ammo with the Gauntlet Wonder Weapons, ensuring an easy round 100. For that alone, I'd say it's another B-tier perk.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I remember getting to round 100 on Ancient Evil using that strat. Okay, I can justify putting it in B tier then.
Wow, Donald actually taking someone else's opinion into account. Never thought I'd see the day.
I'm the most humble person of all time, believe me. Let's put this in B tier if there are no objections.
Blood Wolf Bite, an amazing idea with a decent execution. Honestly, pretty good, but I never run this on Easter egg runs.
Oh, I'll run this any day of the week. Cute doggy Luna go woof woof.
I think Joe just reverted back to a child, which is incredible with how old he's getting.
I'm only 4 years older than you, Trump. Plus, anyone can enjoy a good doggo. A tier for me.
Yeah, we can put it in A tier.
Fine, fine, fine.
Next up is Blaze Phase.
Oh, God, not this perk. Fucking worst thing next to Trump's term.
Shut it, Sleepy, but I'll agree that Blaze Phase is dog shit. Who in their right mind would use this perk? Did anyone want a perk where you have to crouch to use it?
Yeah, nobody I know used it. I don't think a single human on Earth used this, except for when Tog came out and then never again.
F tier is the only place this puke goes.
Agreed. Dump it in the F tier.
F tier, you go.
Oh, God. Next up is Blaze Phase. Joe, I swear if you...
Easy S tier.
No, Sleepy Joe, this shit is fucking garbage. Worst perk in history.
How do you use this god-awful perk, Joe? It's so useless.
Think about it, boys. It lets you get across the map at top speed and kill any meat sacks standing in your way. What's not to love?
Literally everything you just said.
Come on, man. With the modifier, you can dash infinitely until you hit a wall or surface.
Wow, I can think of exactly 0 situations where that would be helpful.
Sorry, Joe, this shit is going to go in F tier. You're not convincing anyone.
Well, last up from BO4 is Secret Sauce. Not sure why this shit is even on here. It's just a random perk.
Hey, Donnie. Melania swallowed my secret sauce last night.
Shut the fuck up, Joe. You and I both know your shit doesn't work anymore, you fucking geezer.
Donald, you're like 4 years younger than Joe. Chill. Well, since it is totally random, Secret Sauce has got to go in C tier.
Makes sense to me. Let's just get a move on to Cold War.
Elemental Pop reminds me of Corn Pop.
Damn it, Joe, didn't I tell you to never mention him again?
I miss my man Corn Pop. We were enemies turned lovers. Those days at the pool were the most magical of my life. I visit Corn Pop's grave once a year to put flowers on it.
Not another fucking word from you.
Stop talking, the both of you. We have a perk to rank. Elemental Pop is pretty good, the perk jingle is catchy as hell, and the machine is hella kawaii.
I don't really like it that much. I mean, it does have Electric Cherry as one of its tiers, but I don't like how it can pop an alternate ammo type when I don't want it to, usually brain rot, ending the round.
Good point, Donald. How about B tier?
I can live with that.
I think it's more of an S tier, and Donald is being a nitpicky little bitch.
Yeah, me too. We got to compromise at A tier.
Whatever, dumb Democrats always imposing your will on everyone else.
Finally, we have the 2 Cold War perks, starting with Elemental Pop.
Interesting idea for a perk, but I think that could have been better used as an ability rather than a perk. Still, the Electric Cherry effect was a nice bonus for leveling it up.
It was a neat idea, but in practice it was just kind of mid.
Well, if we all think it's mid, I'll give it B tier because it's still useful in the high round game.
Fair's fair.